Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, about a week away from opening day, and kind of want to address something you might have been hearing about, and that's, of course, the triple digits on the radar got hit by one Carlos Lagrange, and people are going crazy over it. Well, I'm here, unfortunately, to douse a little cold water on that, so I'm going to be the little nugget, the oatmeal, unfortunately. And this really has to do with the most recent YouTube episode, which you want to check out. Again, this is regarding some different topics about Yankee camp and some of the hot hitters coming out of camp there, why you should actually be have a positive outlook for the Yankees to have a good start of the season. But kind of ran out of time there, and one of the topics I did want to discuss was Carlos Lagrange, so I guess we're going to do it here on the audio podcast, so that's why you want to be an audio podcast subscriber. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. And as mentioned, there's also the YouTube version of the show. Afterwards, go over to YouTube, search for Section 420, Talkin Yankees, and subscribe there as well. So again, we want to focus on Carlos Lagrange in this episode. I know people kind of going gaga there. He hit 100 and 101 miles per hour on the gun there, which is usually don't hit that much. Obviously in spring training there, pitchers usually ramping up the arm, and everyone going oohs and ahs, and they're going crazy over the whole thing. Well, this is like one of the situations where you have to read the fine print, you have to look at the details before you sign a contract, because yes, that's awesome to hit that, but it's not exactly anything to go crazy over. And I just wanted to point out a few things. And again, as mentioned briefly, I wanted to get this in the most recent YouTube episode. Just kind of ran out of time there, kind of crunched down into a half-hour slot there. So this is a little extra bonus for you. So a couple things you want to look at there. Yes, it's cool, it's great like that, but we got to look at the whole situation. First of all, this came in a game where this young man threw against the Oriole farmhand team there. So, it's not like he faced major league talent there. And it's a game the Yankee farm team lost by a score of 5-4 there. Now, look, you look at his performance. You look up and it says 4 innings pitched. You only gave him 2 runs, one of them earned runs and 2 hits. And you're like, okay, well, that was a pretty good performance there. But again, there's a lot you could dissect that wasn't good, and that was basically his first inning. He gives off a leadoff single, and then he tries to pick off attempt at first base there. The ball goes past the first baseman, down the right field line, puts the runner in scoring position. Now, do they earn their way to score that first run? No. Then after that, he uncorks a wild pitch, which allows that run to score, and before you know it, because, in that first inning, he's down by a score of 1-0 there. So you see he's a little nervous there. It seemed like he had, maybe he had the jitters, whatnot there, but, obviously a very shaky first inning there. Now, to his credit, he did retire the next 11 batters there, and that's where I guess, people say, the impressive part. Now, even though he got the only 11 outs there, only 2 of those 11 were strikeouts. So, yes, did he touch 100, 101 on the gun during that process? Yes, that's great. But of those next 11 putouts he had, only 2 of them were strikeouts. So, again, temper the enthusiasm a little bit with that one. But it's good that he, at least settled down at that point and got the next 11 in a row, because his bugaboo has been giving walks out. And then another reason why you should just, temper your enthusiasm on him a little bit. We'll go back to his numbers from last season. In single A, in 21 innings, he surrendered 20 walks. So here was a person last season for single A baseball. I mean, it's kind of on the low level. And with that in mind, he's still issuing about a walk per inning. So not really impressive there. And in 9 games, he pitched for an ERA of 6.86. So it's almost 7 there. So here's someone in single A ball pitching near 7 ERA. So I know we're all excited about the hitting the radar gun and all that stuff there, but here's clearly someone who doesn't have control. And you could throw the ball 200 miles per hour, but if you can't have good control, then it's not really worth anything. So again, just want to point it out for everyone who get going crazy over it. But if you actually read what happened in the game, read the fine details, I'll tip your cap. You got the next 11 out in a row there, but again, here's a young man, again, struggled in the first inning, and he's been having struggles with the walks and obviously having a high ERA. So great hitting triple digits on the gun there, but a lot of people could do that. So that's why, again, you temper your enthusiasm a little bit. Now, if you're not too sure, never heard of this person before, MLB Pipeline, they rank him as the Yankees' 19th prospect. He's only 21 years old, so give him, he has a lot of room to grow and fine-tune himself and work on his mechanics and get good control of the strike zone. And look, he's a physical specimen that obviously catches your attention. He's 6'7", and kind of the way he looks, he kind of gives you shades of Dellin Betances. You remember Dellin Betances for the Yankees? I think he was about 6'8", 6'9" himself. Tall guy. He was close to 100 or 99, and he had this devastating breaking ball that you just had no shot. Unfortunately, with the Yankees, he was supposed to be a starter. They made him into a reliever, and he was probably one of the best setup men in the game. But then he had that brutal Achilles injury, ruptured his Achilles on that mound in Toronto. Left the Yankee organization, signed with the Mets there, but again, was never really get his career back. And again, it was just a brutal way to end his career there, because again, it had a lot of promise. It was like a 2-time All-Star for the Yankees, and again, probably one of the best relievers in baseball, even though he was a setup man. But unfortunately, after he ripped his Achilles there, it was just never the same picture. But still, this guy kind of has the same makeup, the same build, the same height there, so you kind of get shades of that. And hopefully he grows into that. But again, that's why you just calm down a little bit. If you actually read what happened in the game there, it's not too impressive there. So that's the episode. I just want to keep it short and sweet. It's something I wanted to include on the most recent YouTube episode, which you should check out now. This has been kind of a very bleak spring training with the injuries to Cole getting Tommy John, the whole Stanton injury when we don't even know when we're sure he's going to come in back, and all the other players with little ips and nicks there like DJ LeMahieu and Clark Schmidt and so forth. But I kind of used that episode to kind of, maybe shine a light on some of the bright spot and some of the really good hitting by someone like Clay Bellinger, who was hitting in camp close to 500. Then you have Ben Rice, not really hitting high with average, but it's hitting with some exit velo and power there, and he's seemingly going to take the DH spot, with Stanton's absence to start the season there. And other guys like Paul Goldschmidt doing a bad back, hitting over 300. Austin Wells hitting like 355 there. So at least offensively, I know, spring training pitching is a little different than when once you hit the regular season there, but at least, even without Stanton there, it looks like this offense has a chance to really, get off the right foot there because you have a lot of guys hitting hot going to opening day. Again, hopefully they carry that over there. And of course, we all know the situation going on with the pitching. The Yankees have to tread water a little bit. And again, in the most recent YouTube episode, why you should check it out, kind of just, looked at, Carlos Carrasco, the story of him having a little bit of a renaissance at age close to be 38 and him likely cracking the Yankees starting 5 rotation there, kind of be one of those guys to hold down the fort until like Clark Schmidt and people like Luis Heel could come back. So that's the episode. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees podcast. You want to get this because we have a whole season ahead of us, and I know we love the YouTube episode, like seeing me, but if you want to get frequent updates and my little inserts of stuff like that throughout the rest of the season, and of course some Yankee history and other stuff off the field as well, we want to be a podcast subscriber. So catch you next time.